Welcome all. Let us talk about non-standard discrete job in the current session. In the earlier session, we have created a standard discrete job. Let us talk about non-standard discrete job in the current session. We create non-standard discrete jobs to rework on the items which needs to be repaired or replaced with other components which was manufactured there through standard discrete job. Nothing but whatever the goods are finished goods, whatever the assemblies are finished goods we have manufactured through standard discrete job. Later on there might be some issue with some sub panel or color or whatever it may be, then if you want to replace or repair that item, then we use non-standard discrete job. Okay, so what will happen is, here what are the goods are finished goods are assemblies we have manufactured through standard discrete job, that will be repaired or that will be repaired here by replacing a new component, okay, or repairing it. So basically here we define specific component which we are gonna here we are gonna define the component which we are gonna replace or repair. Okay, specific component here we are going to define the specific component which is required to repair it on the existing assembly. It controls only specific component operations, nothing but it controls materials and operations here. And before getting into thing is like, if you want to create non-discrete standard job, we should have a we should create a accounting class for non-standard discrete job. Okay, through WAP responsibility we are gonna create non-standard discrete job, and the type should be selected as asset non-standard, and basically the costing type is standard, then only the standard cost will be enabled. Okay, and the thing is like, for example, class is standard and description whatever you may type, we select valuation and variance. If you when valuation accounts, as you know, valuation accounts are not there, but valuation accounts will store values belongs to materials and resources which are assigned to the work order or discrete job. Okay, like whereas coming to variance accounts, it stores the values. Once the job is completed, what are the values we achieve, that will be stored under variance. Coming to sub inventories, here WAP sub inventory will be raw material sub inventory. This is by default, this will be there, and stock, unit of stock creation here, and the discrete job under the discrete job sub inventory is not mandatory, and forgot about this. And these are the steps which we are gonna implement in the system. First, what we do is we create a non-standard discrete job using WAP responsibility, okay, for a specific quantity. Later on we need to transfer the goods. We need to transfer the goods from inventory to the shop floor. Shop floor is nothing but where we are gonna execute the work. Okay, shop floor is nothing but where we are gonna execute the work. From inventory, sub inventory to the shop floor, we are gonna transfer the goods. Goods are nothing but here finished good and the finished good and the component. For example, if you are for example, men's kurta long shirt is the actual assembly which we have created earlier. For some reason there is an issue with the collar, so we need to replace the collar of that. So what we do is we transfer the men's long kurta and even we transfer the collar of that as well. Both will be transferred. Okay, once it is transferred, then through WAP issue we are gonna transfer it. Okay, we need to issue, so we issue it, and once it has been transferred, we'll be able to see under non-standard discrete job, under components we'll be able to see these two components along with the quantity. And later on what we do is we define operations through WAP job or schedule detail. We are gonna define operations. What are the operation needs to be done in order to repair this finished good needs to be defined. Once these are defined, then what will happen is we will be able to see the details of the operation under the non-standard discrete job. Once this is done, then we need to create WAP material transaction. Earlier we have to take issue, now we need to return it because the job is done, so we need to return it. let me get into the application to try to implement this one. What we need to, let me do one thing first. We need to create a WAP non-standard discrete job accounting. So go to WAP non-standard discrete job. WAP, yeah, we need to, we will implement against this Tata Hyderabad inventory arc. So we need to select the class here. What I do is I just set the class as non-standard. I just name it as so we are creating a accounting class. We need to create a accounting class. Just let me check the internet connectivity. Yeah, so everything is fine now. Now you need to select, provide the class name here. What I do is non-standard. I'm taking a non-standard discrete job. Non-standard discrete job. Okay, I'm taking the name of the job as accounting class as. I'm taking the name of the accounting class as non-standard discrete job. And go back to the application. I'll just give the description non-standard discrete. Okay, see basically what will happen, you see now we need to select. I'm creating against asset non-standard. We have different types of here: standard discrete job, repetitive assembly, asset non-standard, and expense non-standard, and also on. I'll be selecting asset non-standard. Expenses are different and assets are different. So asset, if you want to inactive in future, you can define the date here so that it will be able, it will not be stored for the future months. So as I mentioned here, valuation accounts, valuation accounts. I'm just gonna take, maybe we can copy 1440 something is there. Let me have a look. Cancel this. Yeah, so these are not hard-coded accounts or standard accounts. I'm just taking for my understanding purpose, I'm taking some of the accounts to store these values. Okay, inventory value, material value, to store material value. Okay, I'm taking to store material value. What account I'm taking is I'm taking material account. To store material overhead account, I'm taking inventory material overhead account. Okay, and to store resource, what I'm gonna take is I'll take resource value. One four 40. Okay, inventory resource value. Similarly, to store outside processing value, I'm taking inventory outside processing value. This is not the exact account. I just said this will be taken care by finance team. Okay, they knows which account needs to be allocated here, but I'm defining these accounts for my reference. Like even system with the fields which are showing in yellow color highlighted needs to be entered mandatorily. If not, system won't allow you to take it further. I'm giving the same accounts for both. And standard cost account, if the costing type under inventory or B is defined as standard, then only we'll be able to see. If it is a average costing, then we'll not be able to see this field won't be enabled. Standard adjustment account. Okay, and rest of the fields are not okay. I can take it as 0 0. Okay, fine, we need to create. I'm creating it now. The accounting period got created. Okay, asset non-standard, make a note of it. Asset non-standard should be selected, and I created a class. It got created. Let me check once whether it got created or not. Yeah, non-standard discrete job. Okay, it got created. Fine, let me go back to the now what we need to do. We need to create a discrete job. So what we need to do is go back to the discrete job screen. WP responsible work in process, go to work in process, discrete jobs, create a discrete job. The process is same. Okay, just select a new, and what I need to do is generally it will give you a number. Automatically system will load a number. If not, we can define manually. What I do is I'll take a number manually. OMFG non-standard 5. Okay, OMFG non-standard 5. I am taking the number as OMFG non-standard 5. And see here, the type should be selected as non-standard. You see here, on selection of standard, we are able to see both start under quantity start and MRP, that both are enabled, so that we will be able to pass the values. Okay, whereas it is a non-standard, so on selection of non-standard, automatically what will happen is these will be disabled. MRP net, only we know the start quantity. MRP net is not required, so it got disabled automatically. And one more thing is, like on selection of standard, if you see here, assembly is required. Entering assembly is required. Okay, whereas assembly is nothing but bill of material needs to be selected here. Whereas coming to non-standard, here we are not creating against a specific bill of material. We may repair multiple items here, multiple different bills of materials. So there is no need of defining here. It's not mandatory. Okay, so we can leave it as it is, because we are not working on a single item repair. We may work men's long kurta as well as we may work on shirt as well parallelly. The same under the name under the same non-standard discrete job, we may rework on shirt, kurta, or pant, or trouser, or shorts, whatever it may be. So there is no point in defining here. It is not mandatory to. Class needs to be selected. On selection of this, automatically whatever the accounting class we have created under non-standard, that will be loaded here, and the status will be by default under this as usual. And here we need to define the quantity against how much quantity we are doing rework. I just mentioned as fine. Here basically under standard discrete job, what will happen, based on the lead time, automatically on selection of completion or on selection, automatically start date and completion date will be filled on save. Whereas coming to here, we are working on we don't know when we are gonna work specifically. We know the short time, so we can define a time. Generally what will happen, rework will take little time, short time. So what I can do is right now, for example, okay, what I can do is what I can say is, see here, I took 3 hours of time, like, okay, 15 hours I mentioned here 5. So I'm taking a time because I'm manually entering the time how much it will take. Okay, and one more thing is like under bills we will be able to see here, under bills we will be able to see, okay, you just refresh it properly because it got enabled. Okay, and under bills we'll be able to see type, supply type is based on bills. This is freezed or grayed out. Why this is grayed out? Why? Because there is no need of we are not creating standard discrete job against a bill, assembly or bill, so it will be grayed out. Okay, and the other thing is like you go here under routing, this completion sub inventory is not mandatory and it will be graded out as well. In job history will be able to see the quantity once it is saved. First let me do what I do is let me say the same so that we'll be able to see the details of it. Save. Okay, sorry. Okay. It got saved now. So let me copy paste the name of the discrete job. So I have created a job as non-standard created job as OMFG and std5. So what I can do is, now what I will do is, it got saved. Now if you go and check the details of it under job history, you'll be able to see the quantity is 5 remaining because we need to act on 5 quantity, we need to report 5 quantity. That's the reason it is showing me 5 here, and the status will be by default unreleased, right? So here will not be able to find any details because why? Because there won't be any operations or quantities, there won't be any materials or operations or departments exist here. On selection of here everything here, so we don't define any operations. Basically it is not against any specific assembly, so operations, materials and resources won't be shown here. Now what I need to do is I need to change the status of the job to act, to take it further. Now I'll change the status of the job to release. Status of the job got transaction completed, one record applied and saved. Okay, now status of the job got saved, and if you are able to see here release date, the date of the it got inserted, release date got inserted, and what I do, I just okay, I just updated the date time actually. Okay, fine. Now yeah, 15, this is 5:47 and this is like 8 o'clock night, 8 p.m. So that's done. So the job is released now, the status is released. So what we need to do is now we need to go back and we need to create an issue. Why? Because this like a job has been created. To execute the job we need to issue the finished good which needs to be repaired along with the component, to the shop floor, so that the repair will take place onto the shop floor. So what we need to do is basically we do move transactions, we do move transactions against standard discrete job, whereas you select here non-standard discrete job. See, this is N stands for non-standard. So on selection of this will not be able to create any move transactions by using non-standard discrete job. Why? Because this job schedule has no routing, no transactions allowed. You cannot perform more resource transactions against a routingless job or schedule. Got it right? We don't have any routing here, so we can't perform any move transactions. Are please select another job. System won't allow against a non standard discrete job, move transactions and all. Okay. Because there is no assembly or routing. Close this. I just want to show you, that's the reason I came here. Now close this form, and we need to do material transaction here. Go to material transaction, WIP material transaction. We need to issue materials here. Select the job here. Generally if you select standard discrete job here, automatically assembly will flow, whereas we are not creating against a specific assembly or bill of material. We are creating we may have multiple types of assemblies. Okay, under the same we can repair multiple assemblies. Okay, different types of assemblies under same on discrete job, and here it is issue, and we need to select specific item. And what I need to do, yeah, I just want to check we are issuing material where WIP issue we are doing, and the thing is like say continue. We are issuing components. What I do is I'll take the same component, whatever the component I got. Men's cotton white kurta. Okay, this is the finished good which we got earlier, if you remember. Through standard discrete job we have created this. So it is under finished goods store. So what I do is I'll take 5 quantity. I just want to replace or repair 5 quantity of or 5 garments, 5 assemblies. I want to repair the collar, so I am taking 5. We need to add here the item which we are repairing here, placing. My finished good is in, remember my finished good is in finished goods store, whereas my raw material component is in raw material store. So select kurta collar. Okay, the component is not on the bill of materials, fine. And raw material store. See, on selection of this we'll be able to see the on hand availability here. If you don't have stock, we can't issue. Okay, for 5 garments I need 5 collars to be replaced. On selection of this we will be able to see the number of garments available. 273 men's cotton white kurta is available, 273 finished goods men's cotton white kurta is available, kurta collar is available 227. So now what we have selected, you remember here I got this finished good from my discrete job which we have executed previously. It is under finished goods store, and the raw material which I am gonna use is under raw materials store, and just say done. Okay, now what happened, a issue got created successfully. Now what we need to do is we need to go and check under discrete job. These components will be shown under my discrete job. Now select my discrete job, non-standard. So you will be able to see the type here. Open it, and on selection of components we'll be able to see the number of components. See here, kurta collar and men's cotton white. This is my finished good, and this is the component which I am gonna replace. You'll be able to see the quantities here. See under how many are issued, you just see here issued is 5 and on hand is 5. You forgot about this open. Okay, so close this. Now what we need to do is components. There won't be any operations because operations are not defined. Okay, now save it off, not required. Just for checking purpose we came here for checking. Now what we have done, we have created a discrete job. We have issued the finished good along with the raw material for the from inventory store to the shop floor for executing or for repairing So on issuing, automatically we are able to see the components and the non-standard discrete job. Now what we need to do is we need to add the operations, define operations. Okay, we need to define operations. Go to WAP job schedule details. Yeah, come to job schedule details, operations, job schedule details, operations, working process, job schedule details by operations. We need to add the operations here. Okay, click on here, select the non-standard discrete job. Against this job we need to, because we operate, right, we operate something on this, we like we need to do some repair or whatever it may be. We don't follow entire routing, but we are gonna work on a specific operation that needs to be done, so we need to assign that operation here. And what I do is I need to assemble it. For example, what I need to assemble, don't is testing. Once it is assembled, we need to test it, right? So directly I will take quality check only. Okay, under quantity we will not be seeing anything. Okay, first unit started and first unit completion date automatically as per my. Okay, then resources nothing, just save it off. Now what we have done, we have added even the operations, what are the operations we are gonna do. Operations which we are gonna execute against this non-standard discrete job has been defined as well. There is no need of defining quantity. Along with the sequence I defined two operations here. Close this. Now go back to discrete job. You will be able to see the operation details now. Open. We can do it from there itself. Now select an operation. Here we are able to see the operations, whatever the operations we have defined over there, they are getting displayed, right? And you will be able to see the quantities showing in Q5. Okay, now what we need to do is close this. Now what we need to do is we need to we have executed the work as well. First what we have done, even we are at the last step now, up to check operation. Yeah, even the operations are showing along with the components. Now what we need to do is create WAP material return transaction. What are the, like, we need to transfer the materials back now through WAP material transaction. We need to send back. We have initially we have issued the goods to the shop floor. Now we need to return those. Now we need to return the specific. Just a second. Yeah, whatever we have issued earlier. Okay, sorry, cancel this. That's yeah, see, thing is like cancel it here. So this, cancel this here. Now WAP material transaction, select here discrete job, non-standard discrete job number, and then we need to select. Here we have multiple transaction types, basically WAP issue WIP return, WIP negative return, and issue WIP negative return. So WIP return we need to do. Select specific, select continue. We need to select the operation, which operation we are sending back, and the quantity is 5. We need to add the component as well. We are returning back here. Okay, here we are returning back. And quantity is 5. That's it. Just save it. Just now what here the quantity available is 268. Here the quantity available is 222. We are returning the materials here. Finished return component done. Why? Because we are replacing the, basically we are replacing the collar, right? Here in this case we have replaced it. So that can be used for some other, so we are sending back. Close. Now go to discrete job, and if you see here, release date is so and so, and on selection of operations we'll be able to see the quantities here, not here, sorry. On selection of components, here earlier, see here it is showing issued. Okay, issued is showing here. Now both got, we have issued initially, then we have taken back. Taken back in the sense what we have issued to the floor, shop floor, for execution of work. After execution of work, those goods will be sent back to the actual store from where they have come. So one has been issued, one has been taken, so it got nullified, so it won't show anything here. That's it. That's it. So that's it. Let me close this session. Thank you. We'll talk about other topics in the upcoming session. Bye.